Alright, been a while since I made a video. I'll just give my brief thoughts on Super Bowl 58. One of the best Super Bowls ever. Yeah. I was right with the Chiefs winning. And the 2023 season was a really good one. Very enjoyable. And now I'm going to get to the main point of what I'm going to do for my video. There's something that's been bothering me. It's wrestling related. The problem is, do ratings really matter anymore? Sorry. And yeah, it's been that way not just in AEW, but with WWE. I see people saying, talking about AEW, for example, and it's not just ratings, it's like, oh, they didn't draw that good. That means they're dying. Or, oh, they can't sell out. The truth is, it doesn't matter how many people go to a show or how many people watch it. What matters most is the overall quality of the show. Was it a good show? Did it have good wrestling? Did it have good storylines? Attendance and buy rates don't always mean a good show. There's WrestleManias from like WrestleMania 27 or WrestleMania 32. Those had a lot of people going. Like 70,000 to 80 to 90,000 to 100,000. Well, I guess the 100,000 is not really true, but but you get the point. Shows can have not so good attendance and not so good buy rates and still be really good. And they can have really high attendance and a lot of people buying and still not be really good. Like WCW Starrcade 1997, that was WCW's highest grossing pay-per-view ever, and that honestly wasn't even a good show in terms of quality. Yeah, low ratings for WCW, but for Nitro and Thunder in like 1999, 2000, 2001, those didn't help their situation at all, along with a bad product. And and the AOL Time Warner merger, that was the thing that put the nail in their coffin. What matters most is if the networks airing the shows are happy with it, they want to keep it, it's doing well for them. Plus ratings, half the country doesn't even have basic cable anymore. And streaming numbers aren't really counted. Why do we continue to rely on these systems? They don't work anymore. And yeah. This is not the late 90s. Did anyone really think that this was, when AEW was founded, it was going to be WWE versus WCW all over again? I mean, what matters most is having multiple companies so wrestling fans can choose. For, what was it, 18 years, I think? In 2001, when WCW and ECW went out of business, all I really had was the WWF, WWE, and that's what led to a gradual decline of their product, because they decided they didn't have to try hard anymore. I mean, yeah, there was TNA and ROH, but they never got they didn't have the resources that AEW has. I mean, TNA, anybody remember? I think it was 2010. It was 2010, I think, when TNA tried to move Impact. TNA moved Impact to Raw to Impact to Monday to compete with Raw in the ratings. That didn't work. It wasn't. I mean, that doesn't just because they got destroyed in the ratings doesn't always mean all the impacts were bad. I mean, there were probably some good ones. I mean, granted, 2010 TNA was, ugh. With Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, it just really turned off a lot of fans because a lot of people thought TNA was, oh, it's they're doing the same thing WCW did. And yeah, and I know the cable was still relatively high at that point. Not as high as the 90s, but this was before streaming really took off. I guess it was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, I mean, bottom line is if the networks are happy, like, for instance, Warner Brothers Discovery has been happy with AEW, there's really nothing to worry about. It's not going anywhere. Don't let people on Twitter dictate how the show works. And it's just pathetic how people are wanting them to go out of business. It's like, this has helped breathe new life into the industry and not industry. When WWE was a monopoly, they didn't have to try hard. And I mean, yeah, AEW's helped WWE improve their game a little, but really, there's still not enough for me to draw me in to WWE. I was a WWE fan, but when they stopped giving me what I wanted as a fan, their matches became very predictable and illogical, no sense, nonsensical booking. That's what drove me away. And then AEW, granted, they still have some issues, but they're not perfect, and that's okay. They don't need to be. AEW is delivering what I want out of a wrestling company. Good matches, a great roster, storylines that are great. Yeah. So yeah. Overall ratings are useless now. Yep. So yeah, that's it. Out.